Hello and welcome to another Whispers from the Wood. Today I'm going to be talking to you about mindfulness in nature. We are in the month of October, so autumn is well on its way, and there are so many opportunities to practice mindfulness and exercise those senses that can bring us into the present moment. One of the most obvious things when we think of autumn that is great for engaging the senses is the falling of the leaves from the trees, the letting go of all the various colours, the greens, browns, golds, reds, all falling from the trees. So to sit and just watch those falling leaves can be a really mindful moment. Many a time on our forest school sessions, we have gone and collected the most beautiful coloured leaves. We've either created artwork with them or just collected them for the pure sake of exploring and looking and observing the different colours that nature has to offer at this time of year. When we think about how easily trees let go of leaves, we can also think about what it's like for us in terms of letting go. Very often in life we hold on to things and wish things were different to what they are right now. For example, we may wish that if only my knee were better, or if only I worked harder, and we are holding on to this belief that we're not good enough right now, right here, and we need to let go of that. Nature can beautifully demonstrate how letting go can be such a good and beautiful thing. Visiting the same woodland through autumn is a fantastic way to observe change, changing seasons, and watching for those subtleties, the differences in how far you can see. The leaves really create a barrier to the edge of the woodland perhaps. Yet when autumn comes and we're getting more into winter, we can see further and the silhouettes of the trees become more visible as the leaves disappear and fall to the ground. We can also observe the change in sounds as we walk through the forest. As we walk, there'll be much more of a crunch, especially if you're in an oak or beech forest, because the acorns that fall, the beech masts that have fallen on the floor can create a real distinctive sound that only autumn can bring us. Look at this leaf. The colour and the shape reminds me of a flame or campfire. Now this is a leaf from a wild service tree, one of Britain's rarest trees. Not only do we have all the fabulous various colours that autumn has to offer in nature, we've also got a whole variety of different textures that we can explore and try with our fingers and touch. For example, we've got the sweet chestnut husk with all its sharp spikes, and the shell of the conker with the smooth conker on the inside. Autumn also has all the amazing fungus for us to explore, look at, possibly eat if you know what you're doing. But there can be some amazing variations and shapes and sizes which are all really interesting to look at. It also makes us think about how we tend to only see things on the surface. And mushrooms and fungus, all we're seeing is the fruit. Yet there's a whole map of a root system going on below the ground, sending signals from tree to tree and mushroom to mushroom. A really fascinating subject. Found some interesting fungus here. Now a lot of this tree is actually dead, but it doesn't mean it's devoid of life. It's covered in mosses and lichens and fungus, and something's definitely been nibbling this. I wonder what it is. this helps us to look more deeply at what's going on in our environment and nature itself. It's about exploring what's below the surface, what we don't always see, which can reflect in our own lives as well. We don't need to know the answer, but that idea of curiosity, asking questions, that in itself brings about a mindful state. We can go home and find out more about what we've discovered, but we don't need to. Looking closely and looking more deeply at what's going on in nature definitely enhances that mindfulness that we're looking to bring about as we go out on our walks. Here we have a really unusual looking fungus. This is called candle snuff fungus, and definitely not your typical mushroom shape. But as I said before, it comes in all sorts of shapes and sizes. The other beautiful thing about the leaves falling from the trees is what then it reveals. The leaves hide so much, yet when they've fallen, we can see things, observe things that we wouldn't have seen all spring and summer. For example, birds' nests or squirrels' drays. We might see just the silhouette of the tree and its beauty against the sky. There's a lot to see, a lot to explore. Even the birds themselves become more visible to us as the leaves fall from the trees. If you like this series of Whispers from the Woods and want to see more, plus all about wild food, forest school activities and nature connection, check out our Patreon, link below. Thank you for watching. I hope I've inspired you to get out and be mindful this autumn. And I'll see you next time for Whispers in the Wood.